Well, here we are. It's the final raid tier of the War Within, and it's time for another Havoc Demon Hunter guide for the new raid, Manaforge Omega. We're all crossing our fingers and waiting patiently for the new elusive 3rd Demon Hunter spec, and I will hopefully have some more information to share about that soon. But in the meantime, how about I teach you how to play Fel-Scarred in the new raid? Sound good? Good. Despite Havoc DH not getting any changes or balancing coming into this patch, our tier set bonuses for both hero talent trees are incredibly strong, and while it doesn't change anything rotationally for Eldraki Reaver, there are some things that become a little different with Fel-Scarred. As it stands, Fel-Scarred pulls ahead on pure single target, meaning it's not optimal to play on every raid boss, but there are a select few where running Fel-Scarred will indeed give you better results. Those bosses are Plexus Sentinel, Lumathar, and Fractalus. As the weeks progress through this raid tier, it's totally possible that we may end up seeing a variation of a Fel-Scarred build used for AoE or cleave, and I'll be sure to have a guide for that build when and if it does come to light. I'll be giving you an import code that you can plug in to get going immediately. We'll go over what stats you need, what trinkets you should be aiming for, what your opener looks like, and of course, what your actual rotation is. It should also be noted that Fel-Scarred doesn't pull ahead until you're able to get your full 4-piece set bonus. The 2-piece is where the rotational changes come in, so you could potentially swap once you get your 2-piece, but the 4-piece is what really locks in the damage safely and securely. Alright, so this is the build we're going to be looking at. I will put an import code for this down in the description of this video. You can copy, come into your game, and click on import. You're going to import the string there and then give it a name, and you're good to go. So before we get into most of the details, let's take a look at our tier bonus, because that is really the only thing that has changed for us going into this patch. The 2-piece bonus. Immolation Aura deals 30% increased damage and increases Chaos Strike damage by 20% while active. So this 30% increased Immolation Aura combined with the other Immolation Aura talents in the spec tree and Flamebound in the hero talent tree make it do a ton more damage, and the more damage Immolation Aura does, the more damage Ragefire also cranks out. On top of that, anytime we have Immolation Aura active, Chaos Strike and Annihilation's damage is going to be buffed by 20%. With that in mind, we're putting some points into the Chaos Strike talents in the spec tree to buff that even further. Because we're taking the talent Fire Inside, we're able to keep very good uptime on Immolation Aura to maintain that buff to Chaos Strike. Now the 4-piece bonus. Entering Demon form now immediately induces a Demon Surge and shatters a Demon Soul Fragment that grants 20% increased damage for 10 seconds. This bonus is very strong because it's adding an extra Demon Surge when you enter Demon form through I-Beam or pressing meta. Our talent Demonic Intensity makes the damage of Demon Surge increase by 10% each time it's triggered, so these 2 free extra Demon Surges the bonus gives us contribute to that. We also proc a Demon Soul Fragment when we enter Demon form, which increases all of our damage by 20%, so it's pretty obvious why that's powerful. Your stat priority hasn't changed much at all in 11.2. We're still aiming for crit, mastery, haste, and versatility. As Fel-Scarred, you will want a little bit of haste more than you would with Eldraki Reaver, so always make sure you're simming your gear. If you aren't sure how to sim your gear, you can check out my other video up here, and that will tell you how to do it step by step. The top trinket you'll want to get your hands on is the Astral Antenna. It spawns orbs that float towards you that, once collected, give you a stacking crit buff. It is best in slot for all situations for Havoc at the moment. Other trinkets that I'd suggest trying to get are the Sigil of the Cosmic Hunt, as it has a great damage proc and does more damage as the target loses health. This is great for any boss that has an end of fight burn phase. You can also get Araz's Ritual Forge, as it has a good chunk of crit and gives a very powerful on-use effect on a 2-minute cooldown, so it lines up with Fel-Scarred's burst. Havoc can very easily bypass the self-damage effect on this trinket with their natural leech and healing from I-Beam, so it's not an issue whatsoever. If you're looking for a good passive trinket option that you can farm from Mythic Plus, the tried and true Sephorium Pacemaker is a no-brainer. Okay, so now let's go over your opener. I'll be referring to the modified Demon Surge proccing abilities with their original name rather than using their modified name, just to keep things simple. So instead of saying Abyssal Gaze, I will still say I-Beam. Instead of saying Sigil of Doom, I will still just say Sigil of Flame. So pre-pull, you're going to Immolation Aura and then Sigil of Flame. And then at 0, use the Hunt. As you're traveling to the enemy, you're going to use your damage pot and your trinket. Then you're going to use all of your remaining Immolation Aura charges. From there, press I-Beam. That's going to give you your free Demon Surge from the tier set. Now you have 2 Demon Surges to spend. You're going to press Annihilation to spend 1, and then Death Sweep to spend the second. Now you're going to press Metamorphosis. This is going to reset your stacking demonic intensity buff, but it is now going to give you 1 free Demon Surge from pressing Meta from your tier set. Pressing Metamorphosis is now going to give you 5 Demon Surges to spend. Your first ability after Meta is going to be Immolation Aura. You want to spend as many of these as you have, all the way down to 1 charge. You don't want to use all of your charges, but keep 1 charge banked. Now, press Annihilation to spend a Demon Surge, I-Beam to spend a Demon Surge, and now you're going to press Essence Break. In this Essence Break window, you want to press Annihilation as much as you can until your Immolation Aura buff drops off, which would mean you're no longer buffing your Annihilation by 20%. Then press Death Sweep, Immolation Aura, and Sigil of Flame. So the main idea behind this opener is to use as many Immolation Auras as you can before you press Meta, because when you press Meta, you're resetting the cooldown on Immolation Aura. So you want to do that while also keeping up the Immolation Aura buff as much as you can to buff Chaos Strike by 20%. And then of course, you're just spending your Demon Surges. Now for your regular rotation, there's just a couple rules to follow. You never want to sit on 2 Immolation Aura charges. You want to get into Demonic by pressing I-Beam. Make sure you have an Immolation Aura active before pressing I-Beam for the Chaos Strike buff. Use Essence Break inside of Demonic. Fill the Essence Break window with Annihilations. Then spend your last GCD in Demonic on Death Sweep to use your second Demon Surge. Then you can just use the Hunt on cooldown outside of Demonic. And as long as you have Immolation Aura active and you're in Demonic, you never want to be using Blade Dance or Death Sweep unless it's to spend a Demon Surge. So let me repeat that. As long as you have Immolation Aura active, which is buffing your Chaos Strike, and you're in Demon form, you never want to be pressing Blade Dance or Death Sweep rotationally unless it's to spend a Demon Surge. Now, outside of that, you're just going to use Fellblade and Sigil of Flame as a last resort if you need Fury. The reason we avoid pressing Blade Dance and Death Sweep while Immolation Aura and Demonic is active is due to the buff to Chaos Strike from the tier bonus, but also because of the Demon Soul we get when we enter Demonic that buffs all our damage by 20%. You would think that 20% would be buffing Chaos Strike and Blade Dance equally, but that 20% also buffs the damage of Burning Blades, which in turn greatly increases the value of pressing Chaos Strike. So you can think of Burning Blades as a bucket. We deal damage with Chaos Strike, and that gets buffed by the 20% Demon Soul. Half of that total damage dealt gets duplicated and sent over to the Burning Blades bucket, which then again gets buffed by 20%. This is why we want to use as many fully buffed Chaos Strikes as possible and only use Blade Dance to proc a Demon Surge. Now, if you're looking for the best Havoc Demon Hunter Weak Aura pack, I highly suggest you check out the one down in the description of this video. It was made by me and my team, and this is a Weak Aura pack made by Havoc Demon Hunters for Havoc Demon Hunters. This is not one of those mass-produced ones where, somebody's making a Weak Aura pack for every single class and spec, even if they don't play them. That's not what this is. This was made by people who actually play the spec, and it includes everything that you're going to need to play Havoc Demon Hunter at a high level. This is fully updated for Season 3, and you can get it by going to the link down in the description. So just to reiterate, this isn't a build that you want to use on every boss in the raid. This is only for pure single target fights. So Plexus Sentinel, Lumathar, and Fractalus. All other bosses have multiple adds, and Eldrazi Reaver will perform much better, and hey, lucky for us, Eldrazi Reaver plays exactly how it did in the last patch. If you need a refresher on that, you can check out this video on my channel. If you like this video, give it a like, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and hey, stop by our Discord. We have a ton of resources when it comes to playing Havoc Demon Hunter, and if you are looking to maybe get into the new Void Demon Hunter spec, whatever that may be, you can guarantee that you will find info for that in my Discord when the time comes. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.